Hello, my YouTube brethren. This is Brian with BG Model Workshop, and this is the final on our Revell Skill Level 2 Kenworth W900 for the Big Rig Group build hosted by Jeff at the Ferrets Model Garage and Thomas Soltis at Classic Car Modeling. Gentlemen, thank you so much for hosting this. This was truly an inspired idea, and helped me get out of my comfort zone of just building, crappy hot rods. So, without much ado, let's get the pointer out and point out a few little things. First of all, I want to apologize because this truck is so large it barely fits in our studio, but we're going to do our best to make sure we can get everything on camera. So without much ado, let's start off with pointing out a few things. What's this about? Get rid of that. All right, first of all, we think, there's not much of a chance I did this wrong, but it looks like the front axle is shifted a bit forward. I don't know, if anybody else is building this kit, let me know if you have that same issue. Otherwise, maybe I put the front springs on backwards. I don't think there was a way I could have done that by accident, but it's not a huge issue for me. I'm kind of cool with it. I had so many other things going on with this kit that I will live with that. As far as the chrome goes, only the wheels were left chrome. Everything else was stripped. And I like the satiny look of everything over the high gloss chrome, because it does make the kit look, in my opinion, a little more toyish with all that chrome. The decals took a while because of the large surface area. This whole area here is one large decal, and so there is a transparent strip through here, and I was very worried about the rivets causing silvering, but we used the Micromark setting solution, and then the Micromark, the one with the red label, the one that helps everything conform, and we swabbed these decals quite liberally, especially the door, because of how, let's see if we can point in there right, how this goes around the door jambs. And the door latch is actually cut out of the decal, but it doesn't fit 100% perfect. So I think a white gel pen will employ that to go around and finish that up there. But the decal in the back doesn't have a cutout, so I ended up cutting this out as best I could, because it just wasn't conforming around this well enough. It was leaving ridges and such spidering off in all different directions. So once I cut this out, no problem at all. Everything laid down just fine. And the white coloring is opaque enough to where I'm not noticing too much bleed through from the red. In certain lights, it does kind of get a little bit of a pink tone to it. Up on the top, I had a scratch on the inside of the window glass up here. So what I did was I polished that out, and then I just couldn't get it 100% transparent, so I went and I used the Tamiya smoke and smoked out the glass up there, and I really think that looks awesome. I mean, that looks really cool. The detail on the interior is very, very soft. Other than the dashboard and the seats, there's practically nothing else to look at in there. So it can lend itself well to having some detail done to it, like if you wanted to do an entire interior. It would look great, and if the windows are transparent, you can see in there pretty well. Let's give it a little bit of a turn here. The marker lights up here are actually, I used the Molotow Chrome pen on just the tips, and then went back over it with transparent orange, Tamiya transparent orange, and I think that looks just fine the way it is. So let's pop the nose. I like how the outside of the truck is glossy, pristine, very, very clean, but then we get down into the business area down here in the engine bay, and it's all dirty and nasty. So whoever owns this truck obviously knows how to wash it, but not keep the engine compartment clean. So the engine itself is done with Testors yellow zinc chromate, and I thought that color matched the Caterpillar engine color the best. And then our air tubes off of our air cleaners, we just did like a mix. We did like a vermilion color, a little bit of a red and an orange, because some of the photographic research I'd done showed couplings on all the air tubes to be these colors. So I did that, and then went back with the silver Sharpie, and then highlighted the coupling bands. But the engine was fun to build. There's a lot of detail in the engine. It's just that because it's like nearly a snap together kit, there is a lot of seam lines to try and deal with. I mean, you can go and clip off all the locator pins and glue stuff together and fill seams and such, but I just wanted to get on with the build. I recognize the fact that this was just a skill level 2, and that it was going to have some rudimentary issues, but I embraced it for what it was, and then just really enjoyed the build. Up here on the nose, on both sides, I shaved off the Kenworth logo because I knew I was going to be doing these decals, and I didn't want to have to deal with the problem of trying to get everything matched up. And the kit does come with some Kenworth decals, so I thought it would be best to shave those off, place the white decal on there, and then go back and then drop in the Kenworth logo decal. So I thought that looks pretty good. On this side, we got the turbocharger, so I painted that just basic rust color, and then I went back with my my railroad powders to rust up the turbocharger assembly and just get it really fuzzy looking. I think that looks pretty good. So a little bit of detail there. The underside, not much to see there because it's frame and drive shaft, and then the crossover pipe for the stacks. And then on the working end, I did the frame in a satin black, and I apologize for all the moving around here, but I did the not satin black, a semi-gloss black, and I think that looks pretty cool. I originally had left all this chrome back here, and then when I put it on the truck, I thought, no, it doesn't look quite right. So I went back and stripped it, and then remetallized it with the aluminum metallizer, so it matches the rest of the bright work on the truck. I do have a question for you guys that know stuff about trucks, but I'm wondering, these spots back here, I just did them in a chrome pen so I could have the option of coloring them later, but I'm not quite sure what those are supposed to be, if they're tail lights or blinkers or backup lights or whatever. I'm not quite sure. So let me know if you guys know what these lights are for back here. And then also something I had not considered was the fact that I did need to paint the edges of these tabs to hide them. So I'll have to go back and do that. So that shouldn't be too big of a deal. But all in all, it was a great kit. It was fun to build, and thanks a lot for hosting this, guys. I'm referring to this as Build Part A because I do want to do a trailer, and that's a whole other issue, so a whole other video as well. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off now and do a bench update and let you guys know what's going on there. All right, y'all, take it easy and have a great day. Bye now.